Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to the modding of Isaac with Lyte. Today, very short episode, I'm just going to show you how to make your tiers lob, kind of like Ipecac does. It's very easy, very simple, so it's going to be a quick episode. Let's get her started. Start a new run with, I don't know, Lazarus. Cursed darkness, no thanks. Here we are, nice and bright, and our tiers lob. You'll notice that it's a nice curve. Well, that type of curve is called a parabola, and you'll encounter it in all sorts of places, particularly in nature, because of the way gravity works. And thankfully, the physics in Isaac work more or less the same way. So anytime you want a parabola like this, all you need to do is set the initial velocity and a constant acceleration, and voila, you get a parabola. So all we are saying here is that we want the initial velocity pointing towards the left and up. And then we set a constant acceleration downward. Let's pretend it's due to gravity. So that's exactly how it works in, more or less, in real life, is that you have a constant downward pull due to gravity, which accelerates anything that it's pulling, so long as nothing stops it. And so you get this sort of arc. You just set the velocity, you set a constant acceleration, and you just let it do what it's gonna do. So let's head over to the code. Super quick, super easy. Not even gonna show you how to set up the rest of the mod. I'm sure you know how to do that at this point. There are two things that we're gonna set: the tier falling speed and the tier falling acceleration. Because that's all it takes to make a parabola. You take the falling speed that it already has due to all of the other items that you have, and then you add a certain amount to it to push it upward. I don't know why we're not subtracting, but again, I've covered this stat before, and it's weird and backwards. So if you want it to go up, you add to the falling speed. Then, the falling acceleration, to pull it down, you'd think would have the opposite sign, but it doesn't. This is also positive. And then you just balance these two to get the type of arc that you want. To get the arc I showed you, you use 20 and 2. If you want a wider arc, you follow me? A wider arc, a shallower arc. You just make this acceleration smaller. It falls more slowly. So let's save this. We'll head back over into Isaac. I know we don't do this too often, but we're actually going to come back. We're going to reload the mod. I gave myself a lot of items since then. Reload the mod, and then we reload the game. Like, we start a new run because we need to evaluate the cache again. And so now, when we fire, our shots go further because the pull of gravity isn't as strong. So it takes longer for it to come back to the ground. You follow? Less gravity, further the shots go. Okay, let's go back into the code. Now let's make another change. Let's throw the power of gravity really high and then kick up the falling speed. So we increased both of them. What do you expect to happen? We took it from 2 and 20 to 5 and 50. How far do you expect it to go, both up and over? Think. We're gonna head back into Isaac. We're gonna reload the mod. We're gonna reload the run. How far do you expect it to go? About the same distance it did the first time. Because we increased the oomph going up, but we also increased the oomph coming down. So it's a taller arc, but it goes about the same distance. So by modifying these two values, you can get yourself the arc that you're looking for. Now that 20 and 1 seemed really quite nice. If you want it to be a nice short shot, like Ipecac, then sure, you go with the 20 and 2, but the 20 and 1 seemed pretty nice. So we come back here. I don't know whether or not these even need to be whole numbers. Let's give it a shot. Let's try it at 1.5. Yeah, they don't even need to be whole numbers. It's a little bit shorter than it was with 20 and 1. It seems like a decent distance away if you wanted to have it explode, if you wanted to have it fart. But these are the basic mechanics of how you make a lobbing shot. Keep this in mind if you ever want to lob something else. All you need to do is set the initial velocity and set a constant acceleration towards the ground. And then you just do a little bit of math to apply that acceleration to your velocity. And then once it hits the ground, it hits the ground. But that's all I've got for this episode. I will see you in the next episode of the Modding of Isaac with Lyte.